I don't think that we can find out any carpenter which is working less than $50 an hour.
大家好啊，澳洲黃律師咧，咁喺呢度咧就好耐冇同大家見面嘅啦。咁今次咧見到我隔離有個人喺度，咁佢而家唔知我講乜嘅。咁今日咧就係講呢個木工啦，咁嚇。咁點解講木工咧？其實有原因㗎。嗱，木工其實咧喺澳洲係一個非常之短缺嘅人才啦，需要好多木工啦。咁因為其實澳洲嘅屋咧大量咧都係用木去做㗎。睇佢好似好明白我咁講嘅，其實佢哋都唔明白啊咁樣嚇。咁我哋睇一睇一個數據啊，呢個數據咧就係喺舊年咁咧木工咧就係呢個頭十位啦。攞呢個僱主擔保簽證嘅職業嚟㗎嚇，咁木工咧係排喺第8位啊，喺咁多個職業裏邊。咁其實所以係可以睇到咧，木工係幾咁缺人嘅喺澳洲。咁所以今日咧就請到呢個其中一間學校嘅 trainer 同埋 assessor 咧，就係講一講喺澳洲木工嘅行業嚟㗎嚇。咁呢位咧就係 Marianne Barbie，is it? Yes, that's right. Okay, from Austral College of Technology.
Yes.
And you teach in Certificate 3 in Carpentry and Diploma in Building...
Cert 4 and Diploma Building Construction.
Just tell me a little bit what course are they?
So, starting with, I think, Certificate 3 of Carpentry.
Yep.
And it's a trade course. It's a vocational education system in Australia, which you will study in TAFE, or you study throughout the registered training organization, and you getting proper skills to be trained for that specific skill, which is carpentry. And so you getting into the industry and basically providing the the supply of the trade workers and tradesmen in construction. So carpentry itself, to tell you about carpentry in Australia, it means the Certificate 3 of Carpentry means frameworks mostly. So it means a structure of a building, because it's quite different from most of the other part of the world. So the steel works and brickworks here is included, but the structure of a house mostly, especially in regards to the low-rise buildings and single-story buildings, double stories and triple-story buildings, they're mostly timber frames. So that is the carpentry, actual carpentry, which is mostly related to the structure of framing. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, because from Hong Kong and most part of Asia, carpentry or carpenter maybe it's a bit different. They got different concepts. Carpenter sometimes in Asia means they craft small piece of wood art or whatever.
Correct.
But it's totally different in Australia, is it?
It is. So based on what you said, it's my assumption at the time that actually I decided to come to Australia was quite different. I studied actually wood technology, so I was familiar with the concept of carpentry in the other part of the world, especially Western countries. So because they are using the light timber framing to build the structures. But what we learned back in Iran, I'm Iranian originally. So in the TAFE and vocational education, you will be taught for actually building up, furnitures. You are going to be basically provided the skills which is going to be mostly related to everything. Cabinet, kitchens, and tell me about the furnitures, everything, right? But we didn't have the frameworks. We just learned the basics, how you need to build up a timber structure, but practically we didn't have it, right? So that was the carpentry. And in most of the cases in, the different part of the world, that is pretty much the case. So they got the craft wood and, furnitures, kitchens, things like accessories, cabinets, TV, furnitures and things like that. So these are going to be the actual carpentry. But no, here is different. Carpentry, it means the structural framework. We got carpentry and joinery, which is another course. It's very similar to this one. So they got very actually similar and overlaps in the contents of the units of the study. But the joinery part is focusing on doors and windows making, right? A staircase making, things which requires a bit of joining and different techniques. So that is coming into carpentry and joinery. But the furniture making itself here is another area of skills. So they got furniture making courses, and so you can study Certificate 3 of furniture making.
Oh, that's
and
cabinet making, isn't it?
No, it's different. Even that one is different. So even for the cabinet making and kitchen, so they got different courses. So we got Certificate 3 of cabinet making, and you got furniture making as well. You know what I mean? So everything is quite actually segmented in a couple of other segments. I mean, segmented in the case that you're going to have a structural works, framing, which is called carpentry joinery, which is including a little bit of other sort of skills, doors, windows, TV, not completely furnishes, but staircases, and the cabinet and kitchen, which is going to be basically board materials, including MDF, LVL, anything related to the kitchen and cabinets, vanities, bathrooms, and eventually furniture, as I said. So it's a unique actually part of the work, and it's not just the whole thing is not going to be called carpentry.
So so students from Austral College, after they finish the Certificate 3 and 4, most of them, they will go to construction.
Correct.
Okay. To building up the houses, whatever they use the frame.
Exactly. So it's going to be I would say 99% related to the structural part of the work. I mean, might be just not just residential, might be residential or commercial. Shop fitting is included, building up the structure, and we got lining and finishing part of the building as well, which is going to be carpentry, including installation of doors and windows, installation of the skating boards, as such. Yeah, so I can say.
Yeah. I found a survey online from seek.com. It says carpenters earn about $65,000 to $85,000 a year. Is that true?
This could be true, but for a beginner, right? As a beginner, minimum rates that you getting, and so let's say your annual income at least is going to be 65,000 at least, right?
Okay.
But the reality is completely different, because right now in the industry, because of the skill shortage and the demand of carpenters in the industry, which is huge, the rates are completely different. So I don't think that we can find out any carpenter which is working less than $50 an hour. $50 an hour means at least $110,000 per year.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I know, because it's most of my environment and the people that I'm dealing with are mostly in construction, and I know what is the interest of the market at the moment. So even the students that we got at the moment, so I've got more than 200 students in the last 2 years being graduated, and right now at the time that we're speaking, I've got quite about 100 students studying with me in Austral College of Technology, and what we got is the students, after quite about 5 to 6 months of basically training and gaining the basic skills and practicing on site, so they're reaching at minimum rate of the starting rate for a non-skilled person, a beginner, so it's $25 an hour, and could be reached up to $35 an hour within 6-7 months. Definitely depends on their experience, how passionate they are in regards to their skills, so how much time and exercise basically they got. So they definitely can reach out to $35 100% within 6-7 months, I would say, the first year, and definitely on the second and third year of the study, 100%, they can think of higher rates. But it all depends on the skills of a person. So you can't say anyone who is on the second year is going to get $35. No, so definitely it is required a bit of skill. So which is coming up within training and practicing for the workshops. 100% they can gain those skills.
All right, cool. So how about the working environment? Usually I know construction, like in Asia, they work real hard.
Yes.
Very hard, from early morning to late night. How about in Australia? As you work in the carpentry industry in Australia, usually what time you start and what time you finish?
So the work culture in Australia is pretty good. So everything is quite actually regulated. So it depends definitely on the industries, not companies. I mean, we got internal policies. So if you want to run a business from 7 to 4 p.m., it's up to the business. But normally, so in Australia, there is a good culture of having fun in life. So which normally people are spending quite about 8 to 9 hours minimum in building and construction industry. There are people who are spending more, and so they want to,
It's a bit up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. But there is no push of saying that, so you have to work. No. So occupational health and safety is quite regulated in Australia. It's very framed and restrict in regards to different aspects of work, a work site, the condition that you're working, you're dealing with. I would say it's a lot safer compared to the other part of the world. And it's one of those areas that you would like to see because the way that it's been managed on construction side, I'm not saying there is no issue. 100% there are things that industry is lagging on, but I would say in compare to the current situation, status of the industry in the other parts, it's a lot safer, more regulated, and more flexible.
Cool. That's really good. That's really important. I know people from Hong Kong, from Asia, from China, they came to Australia for the work-life balance. So I believe Australia can provide that to them.
Of course. As a migrant, I would say it's about 6 years that I'm living in Australia from 2017, and I never felt that I've been different. So from the first year, I felt that this is home, and so people are very friendly, warm, and even right now that I'm a citizen, part of this community, I don't feel that. So people are going to be treated based on their culture or their weaknesses like language barrier or whatever. It's pretty friendly, and multicultural community, which is respecting every background, every nationality, and they're looking for people who can cooperate, who can help to improve their condition in workplaces or in general in the community. But as you said, yes, so working life balance is pretty good. Weather condition is pretty nice and chilling. So based on my own country's weather condition, I would say, so it's a lot softer than there. So the minimum temperature that you will experience in Melbourne, which is quite volatile weather conditions, is just less than it's not getting and reaching to even 0 or -1. So most likely is above 1 or 2 degrees in the coldest nights of the year, but otherwise the rest is pretty good. The rest is fine, and here in Australia, so people are working mostly 5 days and 6 and 7 days out of week. So it's going to be personal, and basically depends on what you're looking for. Some people they work, some people they spend for their life. But the payment rates and basically the wages that you're earning, your earnings technically, it's covering up the cost of living. So throughout 5 days mostly. So other than that, it depends on the personal expenses. So if you're spending more, so definitely you need to work more. But in general, for an average person with medium expenses or low expenses, 100%. It's feasible to work and have the life balance.
Tell me about the college you teach in Austral College of Technology.
Yeah.
What do you find what's the difference between this college to the other college offering carpentry course?
Well, I think I remember the time that I joined Austral College of Technology. It was 2020, and it was the beginning of the lockdowns. Austral College of Technology was one of the first actually colleges who provided this course. I remember that. So because even at the time that I actually landed in Australia, 2017, I decided to have a formal qualification I started searching out, based on my research, it was very expensive and to study in TAFE, which is the local government's, institutes, and so it was very expensive and very lengthy. So it was 4 years and, a couple of grand, I mean, more than 2 dozen, So I think it was $27,000 at the time they offered me.
$27,000?
Yes, $27,000, and it was 4 years. So it was very lengthy. So with the age that I got here, so which I was 27, and I had all these qualifications overseas, I had the experience, I decided not to go in for that, and so just got into the industry. But long story short, for those people who are coming here and saying that what is Austral College of Technology, so one of the rare actually colleges that I work with, and I didn't have any issue because industry is full of the RTUs, right? So the registered training organizations, they are everywhere, and so people can get on board with any of them. But because they were one of the first ones who entered into this market, building construction. And at the same time, based on their existence in the market after 3.5 years, and their reputation, which I can tell you above 200 students being graduated from that college, at least from my class, I can say so they were doing pretty good. And even the school is providing you the facilities. So the workshop is located in Melbourne CBD area, so North Melbourne, which is pretty close to the train station. Amazing access and flexible to reach out. So the actual college itself, the main office is located in Lonsdale Street, which is one of the popular spots of basically Melbourne. Accessible once again. The facility is providing us tools and equipment, anything, material that we require. So the staff are pretty good and friendly, so you're not going to have any bad feeling that you're going to be kicked back or you've been neglected. So they're always communicating, so responding to your questions, and sometimes even so throughout the emergencies. So there are emergency lines which is available that you can contact them throughout the night, so even after hours. So I think they do a pretty good job, honestly, in compared to so many other colleges that are in the market. I've been training in the other colleges as well at the time that I was working with Austral College of Technology. But this one, I never had any issues because I'm a pretty straightforward person and honest. But if there's any issues, I found out that this school or that school wants to cut the corners, or they don't care in general about the students, I will cut them off, which I did. So if you're checking out in my resume at the moment, I've got a few schools that I cut them off. So I just taught them. I think I was working and cooperating with them just about a few months, 6-7 months. But once I found that it's a little bit, tough on some areas, and they really don't want to provide the services, and they're looking for some other areas of the, market, so I cut them off. But the ones that are working, especially Austral College of Technology, which is occupying at least most of my time, so it's pretty, promising for all the students. And I think the background of the school is coming with their outcomes, and the outcomes are those certificates and qualified, carpenters who are working now in that industry.
I think other than outcome from my experience in the industry, one aspect that most students would like to have from the college or from the schools, from the institute, is how school is responsive. There's some schools they don't responsive at all.
Correct. No, you're right, and absolutely, because I've been through these actual scenarios that you're saying myself, and I know what are the situations that students can deal with. Because after I came to Australia in 2017 as working holiday visa for 1.5 years, but my visa was about to expire, so I jumped into another course. So so I had the experience of 1 year on a student visa. I know how it might be, so how hard it could be. But if the school is cooperating, if they're providing you proper atmosphere, the timing, their availability, being responsive, right? So being responsible for what they're providing, it's one of those areas that every potential candidate or any potential migrant student should look up to those schools is this. So being responsive,
Absolutely.
being reliable, and I think this is coming with their existence, their outcomes, and so always it's good to check out their referrals, asking for from the agents and those companies which they're providing reliable sources.
Very good.
For the students.
So come to us if you like to go to or enroll into Austral College of Technology for the carpentry course.
Okay.
One final question to you. Like lots of migrants, they don't want to go forward because they think they have to give up their good job in their home country and they don't know how to start in Australia. I know that you are from a professional background back in Iran.
Yeah.
And now you work in carpentry. How do you think about it? Like, can you give one big tips for them to step forward?
Look, so it's hard to say because every person's background and their intention to migrate basically is different. But to those ones who are 50-50 or they're still hesitating to decide if they got a good job there, what is going to happen in Australia, I would tell them that it's not easy, but it's not hard as well. It's just trusting yourself, being yourself, getting into the industry that you want, so in the building construction industry. And if you like the industry that you're working in and you got to go, 100% Australia is going to be the land of dream for you because I would say so the skill level, the skill shortage here in Australia is quite high, and the country is progressing toward future and is demanding. So progressing in different scopes, construction, IT, different things. But me as an expert, in building and construction, I would say construction definitely needs people who are really willing to start working in building and construction. There are definitely place for everyone. So, and everyone in building and construction can, get into building construction. Cooperate, being part of this community, and there's not that much of competition, honestly, in Australia. So for me to find a job, I would say from the time that I landed in Australia, 2017, I still remember, it was 23rd of Feb 2017. Next week after, I was on board with a few carpenters and I was doing works. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So it was just 7 days. Not really hard. If you have the basic level of English, so it should be fine. Because the way that I'm speaking to you right now, this level of English, it wasn't same at 2017.
Really?
Yeah, easy. So you need to just engage into the community and then you improving. But I'm telling you, so I improved a lot, right? So 2017, if I get back to 2017, I can't believe it myself.
All right, awesome. Thanks a lot, Moran.
Not a problem.
Yep, very inspirational, and it's a story to all the migrants or everyone who would like to step forward to Australia. Thanks a lot.
No worries, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.